Good morning, Professor. I'll be talking today about Salmonellosis, an infection from a bacteria known to us as Salmonella. I'll be discussing how it affects us nationally, its signs and symptoms, and how it spreads, and what can we do to prevent cross-contamination. It is not a mystery that we live in a world surrounded by bacteria. There is the good bacteria that we need and help us balance our organism, and there's the bad bacteria that can make us really sick and, if untreated, even cause death. There's the bacteria. There's bacteria inside us and around us. I'd like to narrow it down and talk about bacteria in our homes, more specifically in our kitchen. If we were to inspect our kitchen with a microscope, we'll be surprised and even disgusted to find thousands of bacteria laying around, from our countertops to our food. There's bacteria in the cheese and the bread, even in the meat. For Salmonella, in specific, is the bacteria mainly found in poultry, but it can also be found in animal and reptile feces. That is why the CDC, the Center for Control, Disease and Prevention, has stressed the importance of appropriate food handling and hand washing to avoid cross-contamination. Unfortunately, this is a subject that I have to research extensively since it's affecting someone at home. My younger daughter, who's now 6 months, became infected when she was only 3 months old. So I've researched this about Salmonella extensively. Salmonella affects people from all ages, as I stated before, from babies to elderly, especially those with immunocompromised system. About 42,000 people, about 42,000 cases are reported annually here in the United States, and 400 people will die from it. The CDC estimates that this number it could be greater than what they're reporting, because mild cases are not being reported on a daily basis. One of the reasons this might be a cause of not reporting is the fact that the signs and symptoms of Salmonella are very common to the signs and symptoms of many illnesses that we know of. These signs and symptoms are fever, abdominal cramp, and diarrhea. A small number of people with this infection would develop joint pain, eye irritation, and painful urination. In more severe cases, hospitalization will be required to avoid a fatality. For the mild cases, the infections will go away untreated within 4 to 7 days. However, the bowel movement can take up several months to go back to the regular habits, to its normal habits. There are some instances, like my daughter, for example, and I still hope that's not the case, where the bacteria can live inside its host for up to a year. There's no treatment for this. The only antibiotic treatment will only be initiated if the bacteria leave the intestine and is spread into the bloodstream. This is the only case where antibiotic treatment will be initiated. Let's see how it's spread and what can we do to prevent from spreading it. Salmonella is a bacteria found in contaminated food, milk, eggs, meat, especially poultry. This is the reason why it's recommended to cook your aliments thoroughly, especially meat, to avoid ingesting this bacteria. It is also recommended to carefully handle your meat while in the kitchen and cautiously separate the meat from the vegetables to avoid cross-contamination. Poor hand washing while handling food is very, very bad. So, in other words, proper hand washing while in the kitchen is a must. Salmonella can also be found in reptile feces. Examples of these reptiles will be turtles, lizards, and snakes. It is crucial to properly wash your hands after you finish handling these animals, even when the animal seems healthy. The key to avoid cross-contamination is hand washing, hand washing, hand washing. As we have learned today, salmonellosis is an infection that can affect everybody. Thousands of cases will be reported each year, and hundreds will die from this infection. The signs and symptoms are very common to many illnesses. Usually the infection will resolve without treatment within 4 to 7 days, but in more severe cases, hospitalization will be required to avoid death. Salmonella, the bacteria, is found in contaminated food, mainly poultry, and in reptile feces. A way to prevent cross-contamination is to thoroughly cook all your aliments, especially meat. Another very important way to prevent this bacteria from spreading is through hand washing. So people, let's be more careful in how we handle foods, and especially how we handle ourselves. Please remember to wash your hands as often as possible. We will not only be preventing salmonella infection and all other sorts of infections from affecting us and infecting us, but also will be protecting everybody around us, especially our loved ones. So let's all wash our hands and live a happily healthy life. Thank you.